kicker.
Okay.
Kicker. Live streaming is on. Kicker tree. There's something known as a kicker. Here we have
Uh,
this tree which is known as kicker. So
Kicker.
that's it. So let me just tell you, read out a little from here.
Right,
So
right.
a river of culture and learning, he calls him. He calls him the sixth river of Punjab. So very interesting. So he writes, in the land of five rivers, Bhai Veer Singh may well be said to be the sixth, for he has always been known to his people as a river of culture and learning, one who has flowed for several years like a nourishing influence into their lives and sustaining them. Born in a family of note, has surroundings afforded him the warmth and the nourishment which helped his soul to grow into the beautiful thing it is known to be, his poetry, his prose, and his dedicated life in the service of humanity have been ample proofs of it. His inspiration has been drawn from the fountain source of traditional thought and wisdom. His rootedness in the truth of life, embracing all life and in eternal varieties. So, uh, I'm going to read what now he writes. What's his
Yeah.
name?
How
Harindranath Charupadhyay
interesting.
has taken up a poem written
Yes.
by him. Of course, must be in the Punjabi language.
Okay.
And I did get to see that, but I'm not so fluent in Gurmukhi.
Okay.
I can read, but then I would have made a mess out of it. So I'm easier to read the English version. So
True.
Kicker 3, he writes. So why has he taken this? Like he writes, an introduction, Harendranath Chattopadhyay says that his poem on the kicker tree, to quote only one instance, is a magnificent performance embodying a deep truth of life. It reaches out heavenwards, dumbly and non interferingly, wanting only a little space to root itself in and stand on in order to turn towards the heavens. For all its outbranching and outleafing and silent adoration of God, the world returns to it an inconceivably cruel offer, the axe. So that's how it is. So I'm going to read out the poem now.
Okay.
The Pickard Tree. Out of the dust, with a heavenward thrust, I rise and turn my eyes thirstily to the Lord of the skies. My blossoms opened, my boughs unfurled. Nor village, nor city, nor palace, nor hut do I need in this world, from which I silently stand aloof. In rain and in storm and in hail, through lightning flash and tempest gale, I never have asked for a roof. I love to look at the Lord of the skies with my thirsty eyes. All that I need is a tiny plot to root and fruit and blossom and die, fulfilling my single silent lot under the sky. Here have I burgeoned alone and stood, world, O world. I've never asked you for raiment or food, world or world. I never have asked you to care for me. The Lord, He granteth me ample love, affording me rain showers enough, makes gold sunshine and blue air for me. I stand alone in myself and dumb, dumb and solitary and vast, ascetic of grey centuries past, and of grey centuries to come. And yet, O world, the more I wax in a thirst for heaven, and the greener my branches grow, the edge of your axe becomes the keener. So that's it.
Hmm.
Thank you.
It's very nice.
That's by
In,
Parveer Singh.
in fact, we have a lot of kika trees in our ridge area in Delhi, you know, near Buddha Garden and in that army area opposite Buddha Garden. All
Okay.
that road has a lot of kika trees. Yes,
Uh,
this was very nice. Otherwise, Punjab is known as the land of five rivers. So this man was the sixth river, joining the people of Punjab together. That's wonderful. Very nice.
yeah, very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
Charu, may
Yes,
I introduce Julian? Julian is joining us from Malaysia.
yes, please.
He's one of our Facebook
All
friends,
right, wonderful.
and he's part of our society, and he's a wonderful poet.
Okay.
I've heard and seen him perform in
All
places.
right.
So welcome,
Wonderful.
Julian.
Right.
Charu, I'll have to go soon, so
Yes,
I'm going
I
to
know.
leverage my seniority and recite a poem.
Okay.
I actually did not have one till just being started. Then I switched off my camera and rushed to get a book, which was
Huh.
ordered recently and which we haven't read.
Right.
you know, Naomi
Okay.
Shabab Nai, and it's still
Okay.
the spot. Naomi
Okay.
Shabab is a well known. And
Okay.
so with your
Wonderful.
permission, can I recite a quick poem?
Yes, please do. Please do.
Thank
This is your territory.
well, that's that's a stretch. I think it's a
No, it's not. It's purely yours. Believe me.
okay. This one's called "Trying to Name What Doesn't Change."
Hmm.
Roselva says the only thing that doesn't change is train tracks. She's sure of it.
Yes.
The train changes or the weeds that grow up spidery by the side, but not the tracks. I've watched one for 3 years, she says. It
Okay.
doesn't break, doesn't grow. Peter isn't sure. He saw an abandoned track near Sabina's, Mexico, and says a track without a train is a changed track.
Right.
The metal wasn't shiny anymore. The wood
Okay.
was split and some of the ties were gone. Every Tuesday on Morales Street, butchers crack the necks of 100 hens. The widow in the tilted house spices her soup with cinnamon. Ask her what doesn't change. Stars explode. The rose curls up as if there is a fire in the petals. The cat who knew me is buried under the bush. The train whistle still wails its ancient sound, but when it goes away, shrinking back from the walls of the brain, it takes something different with it every time. Thank you.
Wonderful.
It's
Very nice.
interesting concept, huh? Name
Yes.
that doesn't change, and that phrase on ask a widow what doesn't change.
What
Ask
doesn't
her what
change?
doesn't
True.
change.
Very fluid, yeah,
Yeah,
written very well.
very well said. Thank
It's a deep poem if you really think about it and try to understand. It's pretty deep
you. Yeah,
because you're making soup every Tuesday and adding the same thing. You're not changing that cinnamon. You're not changing a lot of things. The train follows the same path, the same destination every time it wants to travel on a Tuesday evening. So it's so different for everybody.
very
Very
nice.
nice, very nice.
Very nice.
Yes,
Charu, the only thing I would like to say before I go away
yeah.
is that there's some people who might be in a hurry. So if they
Okay,
are, then they will. Then they please prompt
sure.
Charu so
Yes,
that
you
you can go
have to.
first, like
Yes,
like
Yeah,
I did.
me.
me. Okay. Yes, so if Mr. Kedia allows, because he's saying yes, sure.
Please,
And
go ahead.
we have to welcome our new guest from Indonesia. And so, ठीक है.
Mangesh,
Okay, we allow the ladies first, I think, today. So,
No,
Mr.
I have
Kedia,
got my parents have come, so I've been out since
then
morning. I just
definitely.
wanted to join and
Yes, 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 yes.
uh, do a
I
quick bit.
agree. I agree. We let you go first now. You can please continue.
Okay, this is in Hindi. I haven't done a translation, probably sometime
Wonderful.
later.
No problem.
But I will recite the poem first and then see what
Yes.
you feel what it is about. Okay.
Okay.
न मेरी जमी है न तेरा आसमान है, इसके अलावा एक और जहां है, जहां बच्चों का बचपन सलामत है अब तक, पंछी चहकते सवेरे सवेरे, चिरागों के नीचे न होते अंधेरे, पत्तों से भरे पेड़ों की डाली पे लटके हैं झूलों की रस्सियों के मेले, सखियों के संग न होते अकेले, तितली के पंखों पे होती झरनों की बूंदे,
सपने जो देखे आंखों को मूंदे, न होते हैं कुंडे न तालों में चाबी, दिन है सुनहरे और शामें गुलाबी, बहती है बारिश में कागज की नावें, टूटी सी छतरी की भीगी सी छावें, फूलों पे बैठे भंवरों की गुनगुन, नानी कहानी कहती है सुन सुन, फिर लड़ते हैं क्यों सब जमीनों के पीछे, फिर लड़ते हैं क्यों सब जमीनों के पीछे, वो भी तो हैं जो सोते पीपल के नीचे, ये सुंदर सी दुनिया तो छोटा सा घर है, ये सुंदर सी दुनिया तो छोटा सा घर है बैठा इधर तू, वो बैठा उधर है, चलो फिर से ढूंढे वो प्यारा जहां है, न मेरी जमी है न तेरा आसमां है. Thank you.
Wonderful, beautiful. This
Wow.
is really beautiful. When we can
Beautiful.
think of it, it's
As usual,
something.
Bhumika. Beautiful.
Thank you so much. I haven't done a translation. I could not bring myself to write this in English. I know it was, I could not bring out those emotions somehow in
Don't
English.
worry.
We'll
Right.
try definitely. But
In
this is
fact,
just
this is something which each child should know, as they grow up, as they become a teen, they should
nothing is ours,
understand this.
it's nothing is
Yes,
ours. Neither the
yes,
sky nor the earth. It's
yes,
nothing is
yes.
ours.
And again, Vasudev Kutumbakam. So the world is a family. You can take
Actually.
the child to the village and make the child read this, understand this, and live the life that way, and then probably they'll experience it more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I'll be
you.
taking your leave, everyone.
Sure.
Happy
Hmm.
Diwali to everyone. We'll
Yes,
meet the
Same
next
to
please.
time.
you.
Thank you.
Same
Bye
to you,
bye.
Bhumika.
Happy Diwali too. Yes.
Bye bye.
And don't translate during Diwali.
Huh?
I said don't translate during Diwali.
अभी दिवाली फिर से मिलेंगे, right? Okay. Now, I think we can have a new guest here from Indonesia. Yes,
Malaysia. Malaysia.
Malaysia. Okay.
Matthews. Huh?
Yeah, Mr. Matthew. I do not know. Can you hear me? Can Can you hear me, sir?
He's on mute, I think.
Okay.
Hello,
Sir,
I can hear
hello.
you clearly. Can you
Yeah.
hear
Yes,
me?
yes. Now we can hear you.
Yeah. So I
So,
have a bit of a prose. Is that okay?
yes,
So
yes,
this is
please.
called. I think it's about 4 minutes. It's
Okay.
called Snake Stories.
Okay, this is called Can I
Snake Stories.
Snake Stories? Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So here goes. My mother had a relationship with a snake. I don't say this lightly or in jest. She really believed in it. Once, when I came home to inform her I was getting married, she said the palmer already paid a visit and told her the news. Similarly, when we were expecting our first child, she already knew the snake had delivered the message. I never questioned it. When I was 13, we lived in a row of terrace houses that had an abandoned area behind that was covered in undergrowth, which attracted all sorts of creepy crawlies on the extended kitchen. One day, we discovered a black cobra had made its home in a hole next to a drain pipe. I remember the drama of coaxing it out with hot water, with each of us armed with something: a bat, a broomstick, a hoe, a machete, ready to strike and screaming as it slid out and raised its hooded head. And somehow all of us missed the target until my mother stepped in and sliced it clean through. She was always decisive that way, never showed fear, made me suck it up when I came crying from a fall or a cut, and sending me off amid the snot and tears to get the plaster from the medicine cabinet. She did hug and show deep affection like most mothers, but only when I was little. But I sensed immediately she regretted killing the cobra. She was Hindu by birth and converted to Catholicism when she married Dad. For her, the killing of a snake, even watching it being killed, was a bad omen. She must have made amends later, as is the custom, to future snakes that showed up. Sometime later, there was a story which made world news of a rubber tapper in Malaysia being squeezed to death by a huge python. Another man had stumbled upon the scene when the snake was in mid-swallow. It literally had bitten off more than it could chew, and it was later killed. My dad read the story out loud to us with a mixture of awe and sly humor. Of course, later there was a consult with the pink book with the fierce Chinese god in front that had tiny drawings which corresponded with 4-digit numbers. You looked up a drawing, usually it came to you in a dream, and tried your luck at the 4-digit lottery shops. I don't think the snake number brought Dad any luck, no matter how many combinations of it he tried. Just like the unlucky, hapless tapper who couldn't be revived. My mother has passed on for over 4 years now. The other day, my wife had a vivid dream of her, which she remembered. She said my mom was hugging me tightly, something we rarely did when I turned adult. I wondered then whether there were snakes in heaven, and whether one came to her again, sending us a message through a dream. Maybe it was good news, maybe it was bad. We know mothers and all dogs, as a matter of principle, are sent to heaven when they pass. But what about snakes? Is there a place even for them there too? Years ago, when I told the story of Adam and Eve to my children, I thought after the fall that the snake, logically, had to follow them out of Eden. Who would the snake torment or tempt in paradise left by itself? No snake is an island. And I wondered about all the snakes in my life, the reptilian and the two-legged kind, whether it was worth forgiving and reaching out, or just moving on without the drama, without the need to assuage and make amends. Maybe it's the uncoiling of these times that has left some of us spiraling into apathy. Less serpent, more servient. Some days I've enough snake in me to swallow me whole. Most days I just want to curl up and be left alone. And then it occurred to me, maybe there was never a snake in my mother's back kitchen after all. She just used the story to remind me that there is a bit of snake in all of us. Sometimes the snake in us makes us hiss, bite, tempt or torment others. Sometimes it can constrict or wind us up. Maybe to move forward, all we need to do is make the choice to shed old skins and be remade anew. Maybe the snake is just here to be the bearer of the message, the lesson from all this death and dying. And like my mother, we need to make peace with it and let it go. Maybe we just need to listen to the sound of our own rattle and find our way back to Eden and never ever again kill the messenger. Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wow,
Wonderful.
that was amazing. That
True.
was a brilliant piece of prose.
Yes, there is a snake in all of us, in each of us. Ready to bite, ready to hiss and scare and wrangle. Ah. We have a bit of that with everybody. Great piece of advice if you really think of it. Wow. Again, yes. Now I would like to welcome Mr. Kedia. He's waited for long, I think. Welcome, sir.
Not too much. Thank you. Actually, my poems are rather simple and very
Wonderful.
tiny, very tiny poems inspired by Dashera recently. So
Oh,
the running theme is Dashera, and
okay.
very tiny poems. The first one is it is in Hindi. All these are in
Okay.
Hindi.
Right.
दशहरे पर रावण उदास था.
Mhm.
दशहरे पर रावण उदास था, समझ नहीं पा रहा था कि उसे ही क्यों फूंका जा रहा है, जबकि कई मौजूद है उस जैसे. This is the first one. The second one is राक्षस जो घूम रहे हैं खुले में धूमधाम से मनाएंगे दशहरा. राक्षस जो घूम रहे हैं खुले में धूमधाम से मनाएंगे दशहरा. खुद को छिपाने के लिए जरूरी है किसी और को फूंकना.
Oh,
Nice.
Third one is, अगर फूंकना ही है रावण को अगर फूंकना ही है रावण को तो ठीक से फूंको. अगर फूंकना ही है रावण को तो ठीक से फूंको. यह क्या कि इस साल फूंका तो अगले साल फिर आ गया.
very good.
नेक्स्ट इज टू मोर. थोड़ा थोड़ा रावण सब में है. थोड़ा थोड़ा रावण सब में है. जो पूरा रावण फूंकते हैं उन्हें नहीं चाहिए बख्शना अपने अंदर के रावण को.
Right.
The last one is, the theme is the same. सोचा था दशहरा मैदान में बहुत से पुतले होंगे. सोचा था दशहरा मैदान में बहुत से पुतले होंगे पर इस बार भी 3 ही थे. हर बार की तरह इस बार भी उन्हें ही फूंका गया.
Oh. True.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Very good. Very nice. Very interesting, in fact.
Thank you.
Very
So it
nice,
was
succinctly written, short and to the point. Very nicely done,
Thank you.
Omkarji.
Yeah, Chow.
You're on mute.
No, I was because I had my sister-in-law passing by asking me a question. I'm at my in-laws' place for Diwali, so out here to enjoy in Delhi. Yes. Now we have Mr.
Cyrus?
Vaishnav, my dad. No, Cyrus said he'll go in the end, so I have
Okay.
to allow him that. At least he's giving me company here. He's joined us today. Rajiv said, no, Cyrus will join you, Charu. I said, wonderful. We can make some noise then. I was telling him, I said,
Good.
like they say now when the cat is away, the mice have a field day. Okay, then we can make noise. Rajiv ji is not on net, not here with us. So let us talk our useless talk. It's an open house. Yes, Papa, have you written anything for us?
Yeah, I have a little one.
Now, please.
Yeah.
But just before you start, Vinodji, Charu, you may want to put yourself on mute because there's a lot of
Yeah.
background noise from your side.
Yeah.
The heading I have written is Listen, Life Wants to Talk. I have listened to the sea waves lapping at big Bandra rocks. Listened to my dying father crying enormous cancer pain. I also remember sighs of mother slowly inching towards her death, and the worst of all, my loving wife leaving me helpless and dying in pain. Listening to the cries of pain and death has made me wiser and humane. When life of one becomes rougher, all near and dear ones suffer. I am wiser. I listen to my inner voice and life. I don't wish to remake the world in my image. I now open my spirit to the spirit of what is. God, make me still enough to listen to all in life. Thank you.
Very deep.
Very nice.
Very deep.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of experience in that poem.
Yes.
Charu, you're on mute.
I forget.
Yeah.
I goof up every time. So I was saying, Papa, yes, you have changed a lot in the last few years after you
Yes.
lost Mama, and really, you might find it funny that I am saying that you become wiser now. When you were young, you were not that wise.
Yes, I have.
Mama was more wise at that time. You become wise now. Anyway,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, Char.
yes,
There's
thank
lot of
you.
scope for everybody.
Yes. So now I think it's just
Now
you,
I
Cyrus.
Cyrus has no choice.
Yes, you have no choice because after this I'm running away.
Wh-
There is nobody else.
why don't you go ahead?
No, I'm not doing anything actually. I was not. I had not planned to join this meeting because I'm at my in-laws' house and I have guests, outstation guests, and they have come and they are all waiting and having tea and samosa and chaat papdi, and I'm being missed over there. So I said I will come after my meet is over. So I'm
Okay.
honestly waiting for your poem or whatever you want
Hmm,
to share with us.
sure. Okay. Thank you. Um, so I'm going to share a song today,
Yes, sure.
uh, and it
I
is something.
And I could not read the lyrics of your last song or have not given too much attention on
Sure.
the WhatsApp group of ours.
So that's perfect because I'm going to do that same song today.
Wonderful.
Okay. Very nice.
Wonderful.
So now you'll get to
Yes,
hear it.
thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah, this is a song called Thrasher by Neil Young.
Okay, yes.
And Neil Young was the fourth member of a group called Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, which was
Okay.
very popular back in the 70s. They
Okay.
had such hits as Teach Your Children, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Woodstock, all of that. And sometime in the late 70s, he broke away from the group because he felt that they were not going in the same direction that he was, that he wanted to go. And he then toured with his own band, and his album Rust Never Sleeps came out in 79. One of the songs on that is a song called Thrasher, which can be interpreted in various ways. The word thrasher itself refers to these huge international harvester combines in Kansas, those big vehicles that you'd see going down the road with the wheel in front to thresh the corn.
Yes.
Um, as for the song, at one level, it is about his break with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And in fact, he later clarified that the reference to dinosaurs in the song refers to them, where he says, "But me, I'm not stopping there, got my own row left to hoe, just another line in the field of time. When the thrashers come, I'll be stuck in the sun, like the dinosaurs in shrines, but I'll know the time has come to give what's mine." On another level, I personally read into this lyric Neil Young's growing concern over how the indigenous Americans, particularly those on the reservations, were being overtaken by drugs and lethargy. His lines are they were lost in rock formations or
Yes.
became park bench mutations. On the sidewalks and in the stations, they were waiting, waiting. So,
Okay.
whatever the interpretation, I've loved the song for over 4 decades. And with your permission, I'd like to sing it if I may.
Very good.
They were hiding behind hay bales. They were planting in the full moon. They had given all they had for something new. But the light of day was on them. They could see those thrashers coming. and the water shone like diamonds in the dew. I was just getting up, hit the road before it's light, trying to catch an hour of the sun. When I saw those thrashers rolling by, looking more than 2 lanes wide, I was feeling like my day had just begun. Where the eagle glides descending, there's an ancient river bending down the timeless gorge of changes, where sleeplessness awaits. I searched out my companions. They were lost in crystal canyons. When the aimless blade of science slashed the pearly gates, it was then that I knew I'd had enough. I burned my credit card for fuel, headed down to where the pavement turns to sand, with a one-way ticket to the land of truth, my suitcase in my hand. How I lost my friends, I still don't understand. They had the best selection. They were poisoned with protection. There was nothing that they needed. They had nothing left to find. They were lost in rock formations or became park bench mutations on the sidewalks and in the stations. They were waiting. So I got bored and I left them there. They were just dead weight to me. Better down that road without that load. Brings back the time when I was 8 or 9. I was watching my mama's TV. It was that great Grand Canyon rescue episode where the vulture glides descending on an asphalt highway bending through libraries and museums, through galaxies and stars, down the windy halls of friendship, to the rose clipped by the bullwhip, the motel of lost companions, waits with heated pool and bars. But me, I'm not stopping there. Got my own row left to hold. Just another line in the field of time. When the thrashers come, I'll be stuck in the sun, like those dinosaurs in shrines. And I know the time has come to give what's mine. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah. I know the guitar doesn't come through particularly well on Jitsi. It comes through in patches, but
Well,
hopefully,
your voice does, no problems. We don't want to hear the guitar, we want to hear you.
thank you. All right. You're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm saying I like the comparison with the dinosaur, and even though you are saying the guitar